Hey, welcome to the Roach Motel, episode 4. Thank you so much, by the way. I've been getting an overwhelming amount of feedback. So many kind words. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And please continue, if you haven't already, to rate and review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. All those things benefit me very greatly. So pleased to be doing that. Also, I want you to keep in mind, I'm going back out on the road, and I'm excited to get back out on the road in November, finally back out on the road. It's not a lot of dates, but it's a couple, and I'm excited to bring them to you. Phoenix, November 15th, I'm going to be at Stand Up Live. On November 17th, I'm going to be at Zany's in Nashville, and November 18th, I'm going to be at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama. So you can get all those tickets on my Twitter, at @J_Potter. There's a link right in my bio to all of them. And also on my Instagram, at @Josh_Potter. You'll find the link in my bio as well to my link tree for all of those dates. I want to see you live out there. We've got a bunch of tickets sold. We got a couple left, so get on them quick because they might go. I don't know. It'll be awesome if they do, frankly. But welcome back to the Roach Motel once again. Josh Potter with you, and we got Enny and Nadav and Zolo in the booth. What's up, Enny? How you been, dog?
Good, man. We're good. What's up?
Have you been watching any football?
Nah, man. I saw the Lakers championship.
Ooh, yes, the Lakers did win a championship last night. How did you see it? Because you were driving around LA and you had your car tipped over? How did you find out about it?
No, my roommate's girlfriend likes sports, so she was watching it when I got home.
Hilarious.
Like, yeah, I guess I'll watch.
Your roommate's girlfriend likes it, and you and your roommate are like, what are we watching this for?
we were playing games, and we're like, could you quiet it down? Like, why are you screaming so much? She's like, the Lakers are about to win. We're like, the championships now?
Like, well, yeah. I'll be honest with you, and we'll get into the NBA championship in just a couple of moments. I also was like, kind of like, whoosh about the NBA. We talked about it with Anthony Lima last week a little bit, but it's just been, it's like it's not even happening. And I live now in a city where we've won an NBA championship. I've never lived in a city where we've won an NBA championship in my life. And I was, excited about the prospect of it, but it doesn't even feel like it really happened. Other than the evidence of people pouring into the streets over by the Staples Center downtown. But other than that, there's no evidence of it. I don't feel connected to it at all, and I feel really strange about it. I think it's all has to do with them being in the bubble and coronavirus. But we'll get into that, and we'll update you on Enny's, because this is the thing, Enny. I thought maybe through gambling, you would become not like a sports fan, but maybe you'd follow along. And I'm hoping that for the people at home, too, those who don't like sports or don't like football, maybe they'll just pay a little extra attention because of the fact that we have a little wager going, No,
yeah, for me, sports, I don't understand it, man. I can't understand why you'd watch someone throwing a ball.
Would you watch someone play video games?
People watch me play video games. I'm not a huge fan of watching other people play video games, no. It's a weird thing for me to watch.
Let me ask you this. What do you do you play video games, obviously, but what else do you do for, like, enjoyment, to like enjoy something?
Whatever's cool. Movies, like, I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what?
See, I don't think you watch movies or TV. You don't watch any of that.
Yeah, I watch movies. I mean,
you just don't. Usually, it doesn't, like, you don't retain what you saw.
Yeah, no, man. Like, what happened yesterday was gone. It's yesterday. Today is
That's
today.
Wild. Okay, so you just see a movie and then you just kind of like live your life. It doesn't stick with you. You're not like, oh, Mark Ruffalo, I liked him in Spotlight or something like that. You just are like, I saw this movie one time and a big boat sank in like the 1900s. It was crazy. Titanic? Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, you said a name and a movie before. I think it was Spotlight. I've never heard of that. I never heard of the guy that you said.
I said Mark Ruffalo. Spotlight is about the Catholic Church, R-wording boys. I don't know how to do this anymore, folks. Listen, folks, I gotta keep you in the loop about something. YouTube is really up my ass, and it's for words I didn't even think were illegal to say. So things like let's see here, I just got to get my my bearings about me. Words like and I didn't even say one. Jesus. Do you know that word? I don't even know what I said there. That's hard to do. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But yeah, YouTube is up my cooch because I talk about some dicey things, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of dicey ones today. I sent Enny a few articles to prep for the show today, and I enjoyed the fact that he wrote back, "Are you sure you want to talk about these things? See if you can pick out later when we get into the news which stories those are."
I'm trying to keep this show alive, man.
If it dies, it dies. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Yes, the NBA Finals concluded last evening with the Los Angeles Lakers beating the Miami Heat 3-1, I believe. It wasn't 3-2. Yeah, it was 3-1. And I actually, the only time I bet in that series, I bet on the Heat, and it was when they won. So I won a little bag during that. That was pretty fun. That's the only time I followed the NBA Finals, pretty much. I mean, I was just kind of like lost in it. But LeBron James gets his 4th championship with his 3rd team. And since Enny, you have no idea, I'm going to ask Nadav this question. Nadav, who's the GOAT? Is it Michael Jordan or LeBron?
I think it's LeBron.
It's the wrong answer.
No, it's Jordan. I'm just kidding.
That is also the wrong answer. The correct answer is who fucking cares? We're really still talking about this? It's the lamest, hackiest sports debate in the history of time. And if you're a sports show, you got to do, who's the GOAT? Is it MJ or is it LeBron? Is it MJ or is it LeBron? Well, I think Michael Jordan had a shorter career. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking dork if that's what you're talking about legitimately. If that is if that is a debate you go into on a show or anything, my friends do it on text message. I'm like, you guys all suck. I don't even know why I'm fucking friends with you. There's no fucking worse argument or debate in sports lore other than MJ or LeBron. It's the fucking dumbest. But nevertheless, let's move on to the NFL. Yesterday, Dak Prescott, for the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, who don't know, he suffered from a pretty brutal looking injury. He tore, I think he like both dislocated his ankle and had a fracture in his ankle as well. So a double sort of injury there. And when he went down, you could see it. I mean, I am blind as fuck, and I could see that fucking foot was not pointed in the right direction at all. And Tony Romo on the call, this was the funniest part about it. It lit Twitter on fire, is when he goes, "You gotta hope that's a cramp." And you're like, his foot is this way, brah. You're watching it in slow motion, and he's like, you gotta hope that's a cramp. And you're like, what? That doesn't look like a fucking cramp. That looks like his foot is pointed backwards, Tony Romo. So yeah, Twitter went crazy. I actually posted a thing where I go, looks like a cramp, and I just posted a picture of Joe Theismann when he fucking got his leg cut off by Lawrence Taylor. But beep, 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 beep. That thing really likes to fuck me. It's just that one. That thing loves it. But so, anywho, about Dak, that wasn't the only thing that went crazy on Twitter. One thing that I saw that was very lovely was an Eagles fan. Now, those who don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, very bitter rivals. And Eagles fans, they're notoriously, what's the word? Like, Bills fans have an edge to them. We like to party. We're notorious partiers. We like to throw people through tables. We like to fucking do drugs. We like to do drinking. We drink shots out of bowling balls. All that kind of stuff. We're notorious partiers. Eagles fans, I feel, are notorious assholes. And that is because they're throwing batteries at Santa Claus. They're fucking, they'd shit on the opposing team's quarterback with their assholes agape over their mouths if they could. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that is what and hey, all the respect, by the way. This isn't me shitting on Eagles fans. All the respect in the world for your notoriety. But I think that's about to change because this little young gentleman had a little bit of a different sort of message that you would expect from Eagles fans regarding Dak Prescott. Let's hear it. This is Giovanni.
Hey guys, so I just heard that Dak Prescott got hurt. And, it sucks because, I'm the biggest Eagles fan there is. And, you never want to see that happen. And even if it's like your most hated team, you never want to see that happen to anyone. And Dak, I hope you see this, brother. I hope you're doing okay. I've been through a lot of pain, but I can't even imagine. That looked like it really hurt. I heard you're going into surgery. I wish you luck, and I hope you get that comeback story that you deserve.
That made me fucking bawl my face off. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Now, do I expect every Eagles fan to react that way? Probably not. In fact, I fear if other Eagles fans saw this little kid say this in front of them, they'd be like, shut the fuck up, and they'd be really upset with him, throw a battery at his head. But that is sweet. That is wonderful. Now, a gentleman who is a fan from my own fan base did not handle things as lovely as little Giovanni there, that gentleman. And that's what makes this gentleman our Queef of the week.
Queef of the week.
Now that is the old sound. I've got another one, by the way. We've added the Buffalo Queen Queefer. We've added her to the intro. Let's hear that version.
Queef of the week.
Yes, today's Queef of the week is none other than Mark Miller. Now, this gentleman, for those who don't know, who aren't Buffalo Bills fan, if you are a Buffalo Bills fan, you've definitely heard of this guy because he's been ingrained into your brain over the last few years. But this gentleman became famous because back in Super Bowl 27, when the Bills were facing the Dallas Cowboys for a second time, the news caught up with this gentleman, and he had a viral moment before viral moments on the news. And years went by, decades went by, YouTube became a thing, and this little news clip started going viral again as this maniac, who's this maniac Bills fan from, 1993 or whatever. And his name is Mark Miller, and he's on the video doing things like this.
Dallas is going down, Gary!
So the Bills find this news clip, and it goes viral again. Very recently in the last few years. And then eventually some people who are fans and some people who create content around the Bills found where this guy is today. And then they started bringing him to events. They started reenacting, very Tosh-like in terms of this guy coming back into the lexicon again, bringing him back in. And it turns out he's not such a swell guy. Weird. Just some rando off the street who's shouting into a news camera. He's not acting like a fucking politician. Go figure. But when Dak Prescott got hurt yesterday, Mark posted a few tweets. Go to the next one, actually. No, that was the first one. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. See, he posted first, Dallas went down, Gary. Whoops. I mean, Dak went down. I bet Jerry Jones is happy he didn't give Dak a long-term contract now. And people lit this guy up. So what he did is double down. He's like, as long as it's Dallas, I could give a shit. And then he wrote, what's that bottom one say, Enny? The camera's in my way, so I can't see it.
It says, different story when we had to take their shit when we lost those two SBs. Karma is a bitch. How was that said? How about those Cowboys?
Yeah, I don't know what that fucking means. So he's just going crazy because literally journalists and pundits in the NFL world and stuff like that who follow this asshole. I don't know why. They started being like, oh, this Bills fan is pretty gross or whatever. And it's like, this guy is literally from a soundbite from 30 fucking years ago. Can we just pretend he doesn't exist? The Bills were playing his clip in the Jumbotron last season, and he tried to sue them for copyright infringement. It's like, what? You don't own that clip. You were just in it, you fucking psychopath. And so he's just a nightmare. And I don't understand why people are still following this fucking guy. Like, just let it go. Let this little sound, look at right here. This soundbite exists.
Dallas is going down, Gary!
Just enjoy that. That's all you need. We don't need to fucking tout this guy like he's a fucking, I don't even want him to be a Bills fan, to be quite honest with you. So that is our Queef of the week, Mr. Mark Miller.
Queef of the week.
Hey, Enny, do you have that graphic of your QB update? Now, here's the thing about our little wager we made with Enny about the QBs. We picked 10 QBs there. This is how he ranked them according to fashion. He has no idea how skilled they are. I was definitely miffed that Josh Allen, and he put him at number 10, probably because of his fucking Gentleman's Warehouse suit or whatever the fuck that is. But number 10, and then he ranked my arch nemesis Tom Brady number 1. So I feel personally attacked by Enny's picks, but I don't have the update. I sent you the update. Josh Allen, this is the weird part, folks. I'll tell you the truth behind it. The way we tape this show is kind of scattered at the moment. We're still trying to find our groove. We're finding a good schedule going on here. And at the time of taping this episode right now, the NFL is in flux. COVID has games moving. It has games being possibly not played. It has games being rescheduled. So things are kind of wonky at the moment. Like Ben Roethlisberger, that counts as a bye, so his number's a little lower than everyone else's. I think some other folks had a bye, but right now we're through 5 weeks, essentially, except for Josh Allen at the bottom, a.k.a. God, who has only played 4 weeks because the NFL has moved the Bills-Titans game to Tuesday night, which is the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. A Tuesday night football? Are you fucking kidding me? That's so weird. So Josh Allen has yet to play, but obviously it will happen as once this episode comes out. 2 games will have been played by Josh Allen, hopefully. So that's why we're a little bit wonky with our numbers, and I didn't want to lay into them too much. But this is through 5 weeks with exception of Josh Allen, and that is their updated numbers. Now, Enny, let's take a look at this. Garoppolo, you had pretty dead solid. Now, he was injured. He had a concussion, I believe, or something, and he was out for a couple of weeks. Just came back yesterday, ate a dick for dinner, and was benched. So you might have him correct. Josh Allen is nipping at the heels of the leader by about 50 yards there, and he has 1 game less than Tom Brady, so he's going to climb up to the top there. Easy peasy. And Gardner Minshew, you had him ranked pretty low, and he seems pretty high up there too. And where else did you miss there?
I'm pretty sure I had Sussel at number 3, and I think he's at number 3 right now.
That's good. Yes, Sussel, you're dead on about him. I think you have sort of this weird third eye when it comes to Russell Wilson. Yeah, it's autism. Yeah, because you suspect him. You think he's suspicious looking, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm starting to look at him a little bit differently now since we've had our discussion, and you came at it kind of like a dog would a person. You know how a dog will approach a person and sniff them and decide if they hate him within 2 seconds? Then that's kind of how you did it with Russell Wilson. It's like you were sniffing him like a dog. But yeah, I wanted to update you despite the fact that we are not exactly up to date as far as the numbers go when the release of this episode comes out. But as we move forward, it will align a little bit better for you folks. So thank you for following along if you are. And I think this would inspire people to follow along with some of the games, maybe if perhaps they're not interested in them. That's why I try to do the stories like we did last week, a little bit of gossip on the NBA front, with relationships and things like that, because of the fact that if you're watching a game with your girl or whatever and you want to get her involved and get her interested, that's a good way to go about it, is to talk about all the bullshit gossip and stuff like that. And to be like, this guy's fucking this girl, and then this girl slid in his DMs, and now he's all fucked up. And then your girlfriend will be like, really? And then they start paying attention. I promise you. It's like a little sneak attack in how to get them to watch sports. Next up, let's get into some hard-hitting news. That's right. Time to get serious. All right, that's right. I'm Josh Brokaw. Oh my God, I was watching old SNLs, and Chris Parnell did his. I just do impressions of people doing impressions, and Chris Parnell was doing Tom Brokaw, and it was the one where he's like, Gerald Ford was attacked by wolves today, and I'm gay. It was like, man, that SNL was so funny back in the day. But fuck, dude, we got some hard-hitting shit here. This is an interesting one because it's like, I want you to put your brain in this person's brain, so to speak. The headline reads, teen rescued from Pasco storm drain after climbing in to get dropped cell phone. A teen got stuck in a storm drain in Pasco County Wednesday afternoon after dropping their cell phone. Firefighters said they were called to the scene on Pemberton Drive in Newport Richey for technical rescue. The teen had dropped their cell phone into a storm drain while walking home from the bus stop, then removed the manhole cover. That takes some strength to lift that manhole cover up. Climbed in, got stuck, fire officials said. Firefighters arrived and helped the teen out of the drain. The teen was stuck for about an hour. No one was injured, Pasco County Fire Rescue said. Firefighters were able to extricate the teen, from the storm drain, cleaned them off, checked the drain for hazardous gases, and turned the teen over to their parents, fire officials said in a Facebook post. We are thankful there were no injuries. Now, I don't know, is this the picture? It doesn't show the teen. They used ambiguous pronouns here, they and them. So I don't know if this is a boy or a girl. I thought at first, it could have been a girl, but it could have been anybody. I mean, if you dropped your phone down a storm drain, would you go get it?
No, I would just do that remote, delete everything.
Remote delete everything? Why are you worried about deleting everything?
I mean, that's the only thing that I'd be worried about. Like the phone, I'll just buy another one. I don't care. But like, I would be worried about people getting anything off of it.
Huh.
That's
a paranoia that I didn't expect. What kind of things are you worried about getting off of?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you don't need to know. That's the point.
I mean, but like what? Just dick pics? Like what could possibly be the worst thing you have on your phone?
I mean, that's one of them.
Okay,
that's one of the things.
And you're worried about the dick pics getting released?
I wouldn't want those to be seen by anybody that I didn't send them to. Yeah, absolutely.
Respectful, or respectable, or whatever.
Also, the ones that the girls that I received.
Now that's more respectable. Now you're white knighting over here, and I get it. That's a better answer. Very political. You don't really give a shit. I mean, that's good. That's a good answer.
I'm trying to save the show, man.
I
wanted to stay alive.
So here's the thing, because that's a lot. I mean, fuck, dude. I don't want to encourage this. I was about to be like, if you want to put my dick pic on Reddit, go for it. But again, don't. I don't think I would be scared of my information getting out there. I would be sad that I lost the nudes. That would be sad to me because there's no getting them back. I don't like back them up on the cloud or anything like that. I keep them on the phone, which is a dangerous game, but I do that for the respect of the ladies too. I don't upload it to the cloud. I don't need my cloud getting hacked. I keep it sealed on the phone. And, if it were to get found, then someone's going to get in there and see your tits. I'm sorry.
So you wouldn't go get it?
I would go get it.
You would go get it?
That's what I was going to get to. I would end up going to get it, yeah. Because that's what I mean. Like, every phone is unique. I had a phone that fried a couple of years ago, and I was so devastated just because I lost some of the things on it. You know what I mean? Like, things that I didn't know don't just get backed up automatically and that kind of stuff. So I would just be like, just because of the risk, even if I thought I had it all backed up, I'd be like, no, there could be like one show on there that I'd need, or one tit pic that I didn't jerk off to yet, or, something like that. One dick pic I haven't sent, or I haven't backed, I tend to use like the same 4 dick pics. I'm not going to lie. I just recycle them.
You recycle dick pics?
Yeah, I do. Because it's like headshots, because you want to put go moving forward, you want your best look. You know what I'm saying? You don't just roll out of bed and show your soft dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got ones in great settings. We're in Amsterdam. We're in fucking France. That kind of shit. So I have got those for, and then, just to make them seem like they are in the now, I just screenshot the picture. So if they go into the vitals of it, they think I just did it.
So you're clear in the metadata?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they do it too, though. They do the same thing, so it's all good.
Who do you think I learned that trick from? A chick. Right. But here's the thing. This is why I thought it was a girl. Like, when you hear a story like this, you think it's a girl automatically. And then I'm reading it, and I'm like, she lifted the manhole cover? Holy shit. Those things are like fucking 80 pounds. I mean, you need like a crowbar. That's a lot. to get a manhole cover lifted off something, it takes like 2 people, I feel like. I don't know if I'd be able to get a manhole cover off of a storm drain. So it could have been a strong lady, or it could have been a guy. I don't know. Again, they kept the pronouns to they and them, as they should. So we don't know the gender of this teen, and we shouldn't. They haven't declared it. All right, YouTube, is that better? Okay. Now, we've got an interesting story. Now, I'm curious where you fall on this one. The headline reads, parents and grandfather, I'm sure everyone's going to fall on the same side. Parents and grandfather who were arrested when a toddler was found in a urine-soaked, cockroach-infested cage in their trailer housing. A 10-foot boa constrictor said it was the safest place. I'm sorry, that the boa constrictor didn't talk. There's just lacking punctuation in this. So basically, 2 parents and a grandfather were arrested when a toddler was found in a urine-soaked, cockroach-infested cage in their trailer housing. There's also a 10-foot boa constrictor in there. And the family says it was the safest place for him because the home was so gross. So that's where I kind of found myself. They were kind of like trying to keep him in a bubble. Do you know what I'm saying? Like his own little NBA bubble, because their fucking trailer was so disgusting. It says that the cage was urine-soaked and cockroach-infested. I think the entire house was, frankly. And, I mean, how do you keep it out? So, and then they've got a 10-foot boa constrictor for some reason. Why? I don't know. Like, why do some people have snakes? Someone answer that for me. Why does anyone have a snake? Do you know snake people?
I dated a girl that had one, but
no, thank you. Deal breaker.
She had it crawling around in bed with her, so I'm like, nah, we out.
Yeah, dude. I can't believe. So, did you even spend any time with her? You said you dated her.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely we had a minute. You know what I mean? But
did you do anything fun with the snake?
No. What the? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. They do shit with octopuses and stuff.
No.
Right? Am I wrong?
No,
it's an Asian thing. Octopus.
Oh boy.
Octopi.
Yep.
You've seen it. The tentacles.
I sure have.
It's a genre of porn. I'm sure
boy.
snake porn is a thing, huh? Serpent porn. What is this, a new YouTube category we're gonna unearth?
Yep.
Porn? Yeah, no, I don't think YouTube likes porn very much.
Well, we're just discussing it. I'm not showing it.
Fetishes. Yeah, you can't.
We can't talk about fetishes now? What, folks, I don't know. The show's over. I don't know. I can't talk about murder. I can't talk about the fucking... What am I supposed to talk about? This kid didn't die, so guess we'll get into this story. Now listen to this. This happened in Tennessee. These parents and grandfather were arrested over the summer after a toddler was discovered caged inside their filthy trailer housing 600 animals and crawling with vermin, told investigators that the kennel was the safest place for him. So they put him in a kennel, like a dog kennel, the child. They said it was the safest place for him, given him the deplorable state of the property. I'm sure that the people who went over there, the officials, the Child Protective Services, they were kind of like, you're not wrong. This is a fucking nightmare. So I bet it had more to do with the environment than the actual cage itself that the kid was put into. But this seems to focus on the cage, which I think is just a crib with a roof, frankly. You know, you want your convertible cage? Fine. It's still a cage. You're putting your kid in a cage if you put him in a crib. That's what I say. It's got fucking bars on it. It's a cage. I don't care if they're wood or plastic, whatever. TJ Brown, 46, and Heather Scarborough, 42, and 82-year-old Charles Brown were taken into custody in late June in Henry County on counts of aggravated child abuse, aggravated animal cruelty, possession of a firearm, in commission of a felony, manufacturing of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and cruelty to animals. So there's more than just a baby cage in this fucking trailer going on. I gotta tell you. All 3 suspects appeared in court for preliminary hearing last week, during which investigators and first respondents testified about the vile conditions inside Brown's mobile home, which he shared with his son TJ, the man's girlfriend, and their 18-month-old child, along with dogs, snakes, rats, and hamsters. The trailer was said to be reeking of ammonia, with feces and urine coating the floor and dozens of cockroaches crawling inside the 4x4 metal cage where Scarborough and TJ's son was found confined. The cockroaches we don't need to include in the article. Let's not demean cockroaches. It's the Roach Motel after all. But nevertheless, so yes, the urine and the cockroaches were all over the trailer. It just so happens that the cage was also in the trailer where the baby was. So I don't know. You can pick and choose your evils here. Which one was worse? The cage was bad, or the fucking, would you rather the baby crawling around the fucking trailer with a snake and shit? So I don't know. I think they were right about the cage, but that's how bad they went down the wormhole, was that they were like, shit, we got to put this baby in a cage because it's playing in the puddles of urine. Got to do something about this. They tried to be responsible and they failed. It's okay. Here's a gentleman that I find interesting. Let's see here. As his 1-year-old daughter was trapped in a hot car Monday afternoon, this 27-year-old man rebuffed help from the Metro police officers and his brother to break the window because he couldn't afford to damage his new car. The air conditioner was on and the girl was okay, he said. When his partner was on the phone with an insurance company representative who offered to send a tow truck, Sidney Deal told her to hang up because he didn't agree with the cost, according to his arrest report. The toddler was trapped in a high-heat environment for about an hour, and didn't read this part.
Yep.
I guess the kid died.
Yep, that was why I was concerned in the email before.
Okay, yeah, well, the kid died, and that's terrible. I just don't understand what this fucking... Could you imagine being... What kind of car was it? That's what it doesn't say. Nowhere does it say what kind of car it is. That's very important. This is rotten journalism, if you ask me. Because, I mean, if the guy's standing over a fucking shit car and they're like, all right, we're going to break the window and get your kid out. And he's like, no, I mean, come on. The air conditioner's on. She's all right. I mean, let's wait till the police get here. Maybe they can open it with a lock. And then the police come and they're like, we have to break your window. And he's like, okay, well, hold on. I don't know. So wild. When the police arrived and she was dead, that's terrible. So they waited to call the police even. I just can't imagine being a fucking scumbag enough to be like outside my Kia Sorrento and being like, I don't want to break the window for my kid. Let's not get hasty here. I mean, they're moving around in there, looking pretty good. I wonder where it got dire. Like, he didn't even make the choice. Like, if they started getting sleepy, I'd be like, all right, break it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can balance it out here. I would say he fucked up, obviously. The child is passed, and that's terrible. And that's where he fucked up. If he were to get arrested, if the child were to live and he were to get arrested, I would be on the man's side. I'd be like, he just was playing the time game. You know what I mean? He was just weighing his odds, and he won the gamble. This guy waited a little, bad news bears. He waited way too long.
Did you see his explanation at the bottom? It said, he said he saw her walking around the seats and eventually laid down on the floor. He thought she had fallen asleep. He thought she slept.
So he's just dumb. He's like a complete R word, this guy. I mean, because like I said, I'd be on his team if he was like, it's been 5 minutes. She's fine. We don't have to break the window yet. We're going to get in there. But like he said, he's like, monitoring the situation. She was moving around and then she fell asleep, and it's like, that's where I'd go, all right, she's not moving anymore. Let's break the window now. You know what I mean? Normal parents would probably break it immediately. Good parents and people who deserve to be parents would break it immediately. I am not one. So, and it's for the best. I don't want to be one. Let's clean our palate though, shall we? With some fun priest sex. Priest sex? That's going to get YouTube flagged? Come on. There's no children involved in this one. Disclaimer. 0% children. And that's why I was going to save that little tidbit, but since Nadav was very concerned, I brought it up. I'm excited about it because, honest to God, this guy should be celebrated for the fact that he's fucking adults. Now, let's listen to the story. The lights inside Saints Peter and Paul Roman Catholic Church in Pearl River were on later than usual on September 30th, so a passerby stopped to take a closer look. Peering inside, the onlooker saw a small parish's pastor, half naked, having sex with 2 women on the altar, according to court documents. The women, who were dressed in corsets and high-heeled boots, there were sex toys all over the place, stage lighting, and a mobile phone as well as a separate camera were mounted on tripods, recording it all. The eyewitness took a video and called the Pearl River police. Yeah, make sure you take that video, asshole. Jesus. People are fucking scumbags. This guy's like, yep. Now, police, there's something going on. Like, what a fucking bitch. Okay. I would have filmed it, jerked off, never called the police. That's the difference between us, friend. The eyewitness took a video and called the river, who arrived at the church and viewed that recording. They were like, he's like, here, check this out. Officers, they jerked off, and then they arrested Reverend Travis Clark. They didn't really jerk off. I'm just kidding. That was me adding something to the story. I don't want you to think the police jerked off and then made their arrest. Officers then arrested Reverend Travis Clark, pastor of Saints Peter and Paul since 2019, on obscenity charges. He was in the privacy of his home. That's a weird charge to get him on. Oh, no, he was in the church, but that's private still. The Archdiocese of New Orleans announced the priest's arrest October 1st would not give specifics about why he was arrested, nor would the police. New details, however, have emerged in court filings that paint a lurid picture of a priest recording himself engaged in sexual role play while desecrating a sacred place within the church. Public records additionally show that one of the women, Mindy Dixon, is an adult film actor who works for hire as a dominatrix. Maybe we can get her for 2 bears. On a social media account associated with Dixon on September 29th, she posted saying she was on her way to New Orleans area to meet another dominatrix and defile a house of God. So fucking wholesome. Dixon and Melissa Chang were booked on the same count as Clark. Police said the charges stem from obscene acts that occurred on the altar, which is clearly visible from the street. This is after a different North Shore priest, the Reverend Pat Whitney, reportedly disclosed October 1st to Archbishop Gary Amon that he had sexually abused oh, Jesus. That was back to what you said. That was a different guy. The Archdiocese announced it had suspended Clark from the ministry a day after he was arrested. In Roman Catholic tradition, the altar is among the most sacred of church spaces. When sacred places are violated, they must be repaired by penitential rites before they can be used again in the mass. What dog shit? I mean, who cares? Get a vet. So what's that mean? They're going to get a fucking dust buster out and be like, zzz, and then they'll be like, it's sacred again.
Apparently, there was an update. He burned it. He set it on fire. It's gone now. The altar's gone.
The same guy? Or the church did that?
This Amon guy?
Yeah.
He burned it, yeah. And then he put out a statement and said that he burned it.
Oh, that was the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he burnt it. So this altar's been fucked. You know, I mean, it's been fucked on, it's been fucked in, this altar, people have been really shooting blanks at it for a while. If it's supposed to be a sacred place, they've been going to this church and it's been a real fuck den. And they've been like, our Father who art in heaven. And then it's not going anywhere because the altar's all fucked up. Sucks to suck, brother. But, yeah, Jesus, that's hilarious. I love when God shit gets disrespected, frankly. And I say more power to this guy because he's fucking adults. And he's fucking women, too. He's like a straight adult fucker. That's crazy. To be a priest and do that? Wild. What a rare breed. I want to shake this man's hand, though. He's probably got some quality content. I mean, with the stage lighting, and he's got professionals involved. Geez Louise, this is some real deal underground shit. And I don't know where you find something like that. You know, I'd like to be more privy to these underground tapes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think they could have done with them? Was he releasing them on some secondary market, do you think?
All I know is he was working with, I don't have her Instagram up right now.
The dominatrix?
Yeah, it's Satanatrix. I mean, it's specifically all of her content.
It's all about God shit, right?
Yeah,
Devil and, they're fucking on pentagrams and shit.
Exactly, yeah. It's all Satanism stuff.
Great.
Sounds kinky. Yeah,
dude, this show is done. YouTube is gonna fucking kill us. It's over. But anyhow, whatever. 4 episodes, I guess, made it last. Yeah, well, this is a fun story. A locksmith helps save Utah woman who wrote 911 on her hand in a silent plea for help. A woman being held in her Midway, Utah home was rescued Friday after she wrote 911 on her hand to signal that she needed help. Wasatch County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home by a locksmith who'd been hired to change the lock on her front door. According to a report from the sheriff's office, the report said the locksmith told authorities that when he finished the work and gave the woman his invoice, she showed him her hand, which had 911 written on it. He said there was a man in the house who acted suspiciously, staying close to the female and only allowing her to have her phone with his permission. The locksmith, who asked to be identified by only Greg, told CNN he didn't know either person before he was called to the house. Being a locksmith, I have been involved in some domestic situations, but nothing quite like this. When deputies arrived, they learned that the man identified as Grant Egerton had been in a relationship with the woman in the past and had entered the home without her permission Thursday. The woman said Egerton was upset that she was dating someone else, and they began to argue. She said that Egerton assaulted her and would not allow her to leave her house or to have her phone so she could make calls. The deputies arrested Egerton, and the Wasatch County Attorney's Office charged him with aggravated kidnapping in the course of committing unlawful detention, criminal trespass, and assault. The locksmith told CNN affiliate KSTU that the woman showed him her hand twice. So obviously that drew some attention from me, but I was wearing a mask, so I couldn't mouth anything to her or anything, Greg told KSTU. She's showing me the 911 again, kind of making sure that I saw it, and made eye contact with her to basically let her know, yeah, I saw it. Greg told KSTU that he called a friend in the FBI to ask what to do and then called 911. The sheriff's report said that the woman had scheduled the locksmith's visit before Egerton arrived because she wanted to keep him out of her house. The lady was pretty smart to be able to do what she did, Greg told KSTU, and so it's not like I was trying to guess what was really going on. She gave me some great clues that there was an issue there. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I wouldn't have seen that. She would have been like, it would have been on her hand, 911. And I'm like, And then I would have left. And then I would have went to the next job and never remembered it. Unless, down the road they were like, there's been a murder at this address. I was like, hey, I was just there. Weird. I was just there.
That's that bitch that shoved her hand in my face.
That was the one with that she had 1196 written on her hand, and I would have never picked up on it, dude. I swear to God. I go about my day, I think about this so often. I go about my day barely paying attention to people around me. I'm just in my own brain, and people I feel don't even know that I'm around. I feel like I'm just like a ghost that walks through this life forgetting that I have these ridiculous binoculars on my face and I look like this, and so everyone's looking at me pretty much, but I don't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a weird thing. Like, think about your everyday life and you're at your job. How many times you've just blown off a person? You know what I mean? Where you're just like, sure. And you hand the invoice and you go about your life. How many times have we done that? And she wouldn't have been able to do anything. This woman would have been like, grabbing me and been like pushing her fucking hand in my face and shit. I would have been like, what's wrong with this lady? Hey, dude, get this lady out of here. What is she? Sir, your girlfriend's acting weird. She's got something written on her hand. I don't know. I just totally fuck it up. All right, time to get... Now, I know that YouTube doesn't like porn, but guess what, YouTube? It's time to get into some pornography. That's right. Where is my fucking... there it is.
Murder.
That's right, bitch. Get ready. Get your Hitachis on. Oh, yeah. It's a little aggressive, huh?
It's a little loud.
Does that not sound like a Hitachi? I don't have one. I gotta buy one for the house.
That sounds like a cheap one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really just my beard trimmer. I made it with my beard trimmer.
It works.
Golly. You ever see a video of a girl using one of those and it just sounds like that? They're like, I'm just gonna come for you real quick. And you're like, oh boy, get the power tools out. Hold on, I gotta plug it in. Running the cord. Anyway, this one involves a murder, yes. Elderly Bellevue woman allegedly killed by her husband, part of a troubling trend in King County. Ooh boy. A Bellevue man on Thursday confessed to fatally shooting his elderly wife inside their home, a fifth domestic violence-related homicide this year in the city, already grappling with a 28% increase in felony domestic violence assaults. Investigators... let's see here. Thomas Jarbo, 75, was being held Thursday evening at the King County Jail. He was due to appear in court Friday for a first appearance hearing. Investigators have also not identified his wife, who was found with a gunshot wound inside their home at the 1700 block of Southeast 60th Street. A woman's husband called 911 after 4:30 a.m. Thursday and told dispatchers, "I shot her." That's. I wish I had. I just remembered something. I was very high on Saturday night, and I was like, I'm going to make a 911 call. And then I forgot to do it. But this is hilarious. I shot her. That's what I just picture him calling up, be like, yeah, I shot her. And then the 911 dispatcher's like, what? Sometimes you get the audio of this. This could come out in the coming days. But that's what he said. He shot her, and then he just kind of hung up the phone. And here's the thing. They're both old as fuck. This guy's 75. He shot his elderly wife, who I think they said was 84. Unbelievable. Why not just wait it out? I mean, you get to save yourself some. And then on the other hand of it, he's so old. He's 75. He's like, fuck this. I don't care about jail anymore. I'm dying soon too. So he just wanted to blow her head off. I don't really know what his thinking was, but I would have tried to barter with him. I'm like, hey man, she's just gonna die on her own. And then you could avoid jail and stuff like that. But he seems like he didn't really mind or care about the whole jail thing anyway. The man came out of the house willingly and turned himself into the officers. When they went inside, they found his wife deceased. Let's see what he said. Here, the slaying also marks the 14th domestic violence-related fatality this year in just King County alone. And that's twice as many occur in a typical year. So coronavirus has people shooting their wives extra this year than normal. Are they going to include those in the death tolls? I mean, Jesus. How many? How many now? 14th domestic violence fatality in just that county, King County. Have you heard of any, not domestic violence, but any couples having a tough go in quarantine?
No, I mean, everything, at least in my part of town, is cool. I'm sure everybody is going crazy, though, needing to stay with each other every single second of every day. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not in a relationship during quarantine, and I think it's affected me to the point where I don't know if I'll ever be in one again. I don't know. So I'm so, this thing warped me, so I can't imagine just being stuck with someone and then learning that you hate them, in that time, and just being like awoken to this fact that you loathe this person, and then now you're just stuck with them forever, and people are getting locked up and locked down in quarantine. So I can imagine the nerves are starting to fray on some people. You can see it even just in stores and things like that. People are fucking melting down about masks or not masks, yada, yada, yada. So we're seeing every facet of society. Every human being is having their nerves tested because of this quarantine. And we're seeing some outlandish reactions. Let's take a look at one more story here before we get into our final topic of discussion. This one is about an elderly woman who is a little bit of a fun one. I think she's a fun little gamer here. Look at this person. The family of a 74-year-old dementia patient was shocked to find out that she ended up at the Pasco County Jail after she walked away from her Dade County nursing home last week. It turns out police picked up Gwen Donahue on an outstanding warrant from nearly a decade ago. When she wakes up in the morning, she doesn't know where she is, her daughter Megan Donahue said. She probably thinks she's done something wrong and we've abandoned her. It's a distressing notion for Donahue, who says her mother is in poor physical and mental health and doesn't pose a risk to the public. Donahue explains that her mother wandered off from her Dade City nursing home last Wednesday, and she apparently made it 3 miles before the Dade City officers found her. They also found a 2011 arrest warrant out of Sumter County when they ran her name and later booked her into the county jail. Megan Donahue called the warrant, which she had no knowledge of, a huge shock. My mom has no priors. She's just a little old Catholic lady. My mom shouldn't have to spend another minute in jail. Donahue tells us the warrant is from an old DUI. Her mother paid the fines and completed the community service, but apparently overlooked a 2-hour online course. Because she was booked without bond, she cannot be released until the judge signs off on a release. So this fucking old bird 10 years ago got a DUI. She was still fucking old then, by the way. She was 64 years old getting a DUI. I mean, shit. She was probably super fun, and her kid didn't know anything. She has no prior. She got a DUI at a time when she definitely should have known better than getting a DUI, and she missed her fucking online course. Throw her in the fucking brink, I say. I had to do that shit. I got a DUI 10 years ago myself. I had to go to an online course and do all that. If I didn't, I'd be thrown in fucking jail. I don't care if you don't know if it's fucking Wednesday or Friday. Throw her in the fucking jail. But I thought she was pretty fun sounding. I used to live near a nursing home, and the old people would escape all the time. And my dog used to bark at them. I'd always know when an old person escaped because my dog would bark like in a weird way as they walked down the street. And it was always so funny. You'd see them walking down the street and you're like, that seems weird, because they're just in a robe. They've got like cords coming out of them and stuff. And you're like, that seems a little off. Maybe I should make a phone call. And then you see like 10 seconds later as you're making a phone call, you see like a fucking nurse or whatever running down the street fucking chasing them. And you're like, okay, I think they got it. But fuck, man, that was always fun. I got to get another apartment near a nursing home so you can see the escapes. That's like a common trend in all the nursing homes. If you live near one, you got to deal with maybe one day you're going to find an old man on your porch and he'll be like, it's how are the Yankees doing? You're like, oh, Jesus. Real quick here, this one. I wanted to bring this up. I forgot about this story for a second. Man dies from overdosing on black licorice candy. This seems like something that would happen to Enny. Enny, you're a candy head, right?
Yeah, man, I spent my first paycheck I ever made on nothing but candy.
And you're 4 years old? How old are you?
I think I was 16.
And you spent it on candy?
Yeah, I spent $100 and I think it was $93 on candy.
Do you have a breakdown on that?
It was all the sour strawberry belts, you know, the little like the thin
and
ones.
That's you just bought that. How much did that afford you?
What do you mean? How long?
Like how many sour belts did you get for all of that paycheck?
I mean, it was
Pounds?
like I was just filling bags. Yeah, like you know the grocery store aisles where you could
you
take
get the bulk section.
Yeah. So I was just filling bags until I couldn't anymore.
Do you know a weight? Do you remember a weight? Because that's a number I would mark down in my brain. I'd be like, I just bought 14 pounds of red belt. You know what I'm saying? Like you're buying an obscene amount.
Yeah, I would have too if it felt weird for me, but that was kind of just part
what
of the
you
course.
did.
Yeah,
oh my lord,
it seemed normal for me.
Well, this 54-year-old Massachusetts man tragically demonstrated the fact that you can OD on black licorice candy. Obviously, you can't OD on red belts, although I don't think you ate all the bags in one sitting, eh?
No, yeah, that went stale, and it was unfortunate. I didn't get to eat all of it.
Well, this gentleman might have had some other issues because in the middle of his fast food meal, he collapsed and died right in the restaurant. According to a case report in the New England Journal of Medicine, the cause of death was cardiac arrest brought on by an overdose. Not that the man was on drugs, mind you. He had simply overindulged in his favorite treat, black licorice. Black licorice is gross, right? We're all on team gross.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
I'm not a candy guy to begin with, and I know that's weird. I'm not saying I'm normal. I just don't eat like sweets, and I don't eat candy at all. So this guy is a fucking child, in my opinion. But I thought, since Enny loves candy, I don't want you to die or anything. But I thought, maybe we can like how many red belts do you think you can take down?
You mean like in one sitting?
Yeah.
How many can you buy?
Probably as much as you bought the first time, eh?
Yeah.
$116 worth?
Yeah, I could do,
how long would it take you to eat that?
How much did he die off of? How much was it?
That's what I was trying to get to here. That's what I'm trying to see if it's like, we have to get this case to Dr. Drew before we decide if you can do this or not, because of the fact that I don't know if other health issues contributed to his overdose, so to speak, and I don't know it doesn't say how much he's consumed, but it was an overdose brought on by black licorice, and it doesn't in here say anything about that. Let's just go into it real quick. The man suffered a heart attack, and 32 hours later, he passed on. When the doctors started examining the man's medical history more closely, they found something unusual. Although he had no history of chest pain, heart failure, or anything else, really, he wasn't exactly living the healthiest lifestyle. No shit. He had a poor diet, consisting primarily of several packages of candy daily. 3 weeks earlier, he had switched the type of candy he was eating. Apparently, the man had gotten tired of eating only the kind of soft fruit-flavored candy he'd subsisted on for a good long while. So to shake things up, he swapped the fruit candy for black licorice. The problem with black licorice is that it contains glycyrrhizic acid. I don't know how to fucking say that. Glycyrrhizic acid. There's a lot of R's in there. This particular acid, once consumed, converts into this glycyrrhizic acid in your body. These chemicals ruin the body's ability to maintain its potassium levels. While with crashing potassium levels come a slew of other health problems, including high blood pressure and irregular heart rhythm. And that's just what happened to the man. Despite getting treatment to restore his potassium levels, his heart just couldn't take it in the end. And the death covered here is extreme case, but excessive licorice consumption is not without its risks. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, consuming 2 ounces of black licorice every day is enough to land someone in the hospital by causing irregular heartbeat. Holy shit. In 2019, another case surfaced where the taste for licorice ended up with a trip to the emergency room. In this case, the victim was an 84-year-old man who enjoyed licorice tea. The man had 1 or 2 glasses of the beverage a day. As a result, his blood pressure crashed in catastrophic numbers. Luckily, though, this man was luckier than the poor soul from Massachusetts. With prompt treatment, he was able to pull through. FDA recommends people of all ages to avoid consuming large quantities of licorice at one time. Additionally, many products marketed as licorice flavored don't actually contain any licorice at all. So it's the licorice. What the fuck's licorice? How is that different than your belts, is what I want to know.
I guess it's that glycyrrhizone.
Right. And
thing.
so is that, we have to find out, is that in the belts?
I will do research on this.
Otherwise, you can eat fucking all you want, it looks like. So you're in the clear.
And put it this way, that's the thing too. I definitely eat more than whatever they just said. It said 2 ounces a day. That's like
you eat more than 2 ounces a day of sour belts.
I mean, I'm trying to picture what 2 ounces would equal, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. I mean, I'll go through boxes. You know,
boxes.
Yeah,
boxes and boxes. That's Yin Yang Twins. Boxes in boxes. All right, great podcast, guys. I know for a fact Enny and Josh are my peeps for weird interests. That's from Daniel. This is some viewer feedback, by the way, and you can send yours to Roach Motel at ymhpodcasts.com. That is also where I'd like you to send your queefs, ladies. We played the queef of the week earlier. I want to get more queefs. And fellas, my friend C. Mori on Twitch was telling me while I was streaming the other night that he is about to leave his wife because she won't let him record her queefs. So that is an option, folks. Because we have a lot of people sending us like porn links to queefs and stuff. No. I don't want it. I want genuine Roach Motel listener queefs. And if you're not directly listening, I want your wife's queefs or your girlfriend's queefs or your sister's or your mom's, whatever. Just go get them, folks, and send them in. Honestly, thought it was gonna suck. But that was fucking fun, dude. Starting the second episode now. I want to make YMH reference, but it doesn't feel right. Make Josh come. That's from David. Well, it could still suck, David, so strap in. Got to do this 100. People are like, congratulations. Everyone's saying like, good job, congratulations. And I'm like, yeah, I got to do this like 100 more times, just because one was good. Let's fucking knock it down a little bit. Hey dudes, just wanted to write in and let you know that you're doing an amazing job. Something to discuss on the podcast. How about the epic tailgating of the Bills Mafia? That is a different David who wrote that in. And sure, I mean, we did it a little bit earlier. I discussed the difference between Bills and Eagles fans, and sure, there's a sour folk in all of us, but nevertheless, that's the difference. Bills love to fucking party, and someday I would love, if everything goes back to normal and the Bills have tailgating again, I'd love to go shoot a video for the show so that people that don't go to the show or don't go to Bills games and have never been to one can see what it's really like. And I'd imagine you would enjoy that quite a bit. Here we go. Is another one real quick. Please discuss why Enny is the Black Harry Potter. It's like he lived under stairs in a cupboard his whole life and learned nothing about pop culture. That's from Nick. I don't want to cast that upon you, Enny. The Black Harry Potter.
I mean, what's funny is people call you Harry Potter in the emails.
Last name, and I'm Harry, so I get it. Like, I haven't heard that one before. That's like, what's up with your fucking eyes? Oh, my eyes are weird? I didn't know. All right, let's wrap up the show, but I'm going to wrap it up with a little something, a little brain worm I want to roll around in your brains, folks, because this is going to be an ongoing development. This man might be our new, he might be our new fucking hero. I don't really know what to describe him as. Just something, our new focus of curiosity, that's for sure. I'm so curious about this guy. I've never heard about him until very recently.
Murder.
He is the most prolific serial killer ever. His name is Samuel Little, and here he is on the screen right now. He's confessed to murdering 93 people. And meanwhile, only he's been convicted of 20, and there are 60 more that they're trying to suss out. But like, if you just type this man's name, Samuel Little, into Google and then go to the news section, every fucking day there's a new article about another victim coming to light or a case being solved. He's in jail. You don't have to worry. He's been arrested, but I don't know much about him. I know his mother was a whore. She was a prostitute, a legit prostitute. And that always seems to be a common thing among serial killers. That's always a fun thing. And then, you know, when he was a teenager, he started traveling around as serial killers often do. And he started committing his crimes, which at first involved stealing cars and that kind of thing, just like lower level stuff. And then he would find himself in jail here and there. He did a few stints every time he'd come out. But he has confessed to 93 murders, 20 some of which he was convicted of. And I just don't know much about him. Other than that, he's also, by the way, talk about progress, African American. The most prolific serial killer ever is African American. What do you have to say about that, Enny? Are you proud?
I'm glad that we're winning in some field.
In a new category, because every time, isn't that what, I mean, you even said that episode 1, we talked about the difference between white murderers and black murderers. And you said that white guys tend to be a little more calculated, and we're often thrown into us being the serial killers. We're the serial killers. You know, they would never put that stereotype on a black man, right?
I mean, the funny thing, though, is when I was watching the interview, I mean, he was chill about the whole thing. He's like, yeah, you know, she's in the river still. And
well, yeah, serial killers are going to serial killer. I mean, that's just, they're all the same in that regard, you know? They're going to still be that. But I just think it's interesting that racially, white guys always get painted as not that we have a fucking, I'm so angry that we are stereotyped. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's fun that the best serial killer ever, probably, and when I say best, I mean most successful. I don't know. What are they? If we're going to count stats, I mean, this guy, 93, it's pretty wild. That's right up there. And I'm saying I hope that there are documentaries. I hope there are movies the way that there are about Bundy and shit like that, because Ted Bundy, you know, he wasn't even that good. He just fucking is good looking. So it's like an interesting story. I don't want to hear about fucking Ted Bundy and all these pop culture serial killers. I want to hear more about Samuel Little. So we're going to keep following him as time goes on, and we'll see if that number keeps ratcheting up, and we'll see what else he confesses to as more tapes come out and things like that, because it is an ongoing thing. So I want to keep him on your radar, because I know we've got a lot of true crime fans out there, you know, who enjoy serial killers and their fucking, all the stories about him and everything like that. Well, here's a new guy on the block to keep a fucking eye on. That's for sure. This guy is going to end up becoming the new Dahmer, the new whatever. He doesn't have a weird proclivity, though. That's the one thing that's going to keep him out of the limelight, you know? He doesn't have some sort of, and maybe those things will come out down the road, but right now there isn't one, like, thing you can put it on. You know what I mean? He doesn't kill just like blonde ladies. In fact, he doesn't even just kill ladies. He kills men, women. He's killed a lot of different people. So I think the word serial being applied is, you know, there's nothing specific happening with these people. They're not specific types of people. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled and see if more tape comes out about him. If you hear any stories or know anything about him, you can always let us know via our feedback email as well, which is roachmotel@ymhpodcasts.com. Send your queefs in, send your listener feedback. I want to hear all of it. So pleased to be sending things to there. I hope you see me on the road. My links are found on my Twitter @J_Potter and my Instagram @Josh_Potter. That's where you can find the links to all my shows in November, which are on the 15th, Phoenix at Stand Up Live, 17th, going to be at Zany's in Nashville, and on the 18th, I'm going to be at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama. Also, We're on iTunes. If you listen on iTunes, could you please rate, review, make sure you subscribe, all of that. It very much helps me, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you coming back to the Roach Motel for episode 4. Thank you to Nadav, to Zolo, and to Enny. And we will see you next week.